Hello and welcome to the Games Vault Podcast, Episode 1. We are your hosts, Tyler.
Hello.
Brett.
Yo.
And I'm Chris. Today we're talking Star Wars Battlefront. We've spent a bit of time on that today, so we're going to have our first impressions and thoughts on that. And we've got a bit of news to do as well from the gaming industry over the last week. So let's get into it.
You're listening to the Games Vault Podcast.
All right, so before we get into the Star Wars Battlefront discussion, we're going to start off with a bit of news. Brett, what do you got for us today?
Valve have just released their Steam machine. They've been talking about that for about 2 years now. Have you guys heard of it?
Yep.
Yes, 2 years ago.
So it's taken them a while to get it out. They finally have. There's going to be quite a few different manufacturers that are going to be producing them. Basically, what it is it's Valve trying to take on the console market.
Yep.
So it's basically it's a PC, but it runs their own separate OS, which is Linux with a Steam sort of overlay over the top of it. Mm-hmm. If you've used full screen mode before on Steam, you'd sort of know what it's like.
That's the user interface of the big
picture mode. Big picture mode. Yep. It's released with about 1,000 titles. Mm-hmm. Some people are saying that's not enough. Which I think,
sure.
For
now, it's fine.
Have you guys used that big picture mode at all?
I've had a couple of plays with it when I connect my PC up to my TV and, it's a bit more easy to navigate.
Is it? Okay. No, I've never done that myself, but
it's a good idea. The problem is so far that all the benchmarks that have been done, it's performing pretty poorly. Mm-hmm. So you can have like up to 50% slower than, if you've got a game, two equivalent systems, it's 50% slower frame rate.
Equivalent systems, we're talking consoles, since that's the market they're going
into?
No.
This is like
machines.
a Windows versus a Steam OS.
Yep.
Steam OS at the moment is about 50% slower. Well, it depends on the game, obviously.
Of course.
But up to.
Where are they performance-wise with the consoles themselves? If they're going into...
consoles would be superior because they're dedicated gaming machines. But that's the thing. This is supposed to be a dedicated gaming machine.
Yep.
If you took the hardware of a console and ran Windows on it and then ran a game on it, it would be much, much, much slower than a console would be. Okay. So the Steam machine is even further behind Windows again. So, but it could be just because the drivers aren't mature enough yet. Just needs more time to develop.
So what you're saying is if you took all the gear out of the Steam machine, put it in a PC, it would...
Well, it essentially is a PC. Yeah. You can load Windows onto it.
Yeah.
You can dual boot it, so you can have like Linux and Windows on there.
Yeah, but the same gear in a PC.
Yeah, so if you're running, if you run it and you put Windows on it, at the moment there's I can't see much of a reason to run Steam's OS because
it seems weird.
Yeah, you'll get a big performance increase by putting Windows on there.
You think that's just because it's a new thing? They're going to work out the bugs, or?
Well, they, as I say, they've been developing it for quite a few years.
Yeah.
It's not like it's brand new. It's only just to market.
How many of the consoles have they released so far? Because I know when they first announced it, there was about 10 different models that they were going to sort of release, and each model was based to a certain budget. Essentially, the cheaper it is,
machines,
you can go really.
I think there was a $400 and something one and a $700 and something one, but I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah, I haven't looked into the individual models. I had a quick look at the Alienware one, which looks like a really nice piece of kit.
Yep.
The only thing is, it's not really designed to be upgraded, and you can't sort of chop and change bits. It's really just like a closed, sealed system. But the price point's pretty good.
Yep. Okay.
And, maybe for now you could put Windows on it, and then when Steam sort their shit out, you could upgrade to that. Or just go back to it.
Yeah, exactly. So entering into the console market there, have there been any reviews on how it's actually sort of faring and performing against Sony and Microsoft?
It's too early to tell at this stage. Yeah.
When did it actually release? You say last week?
It was about a week ago.
About a week ago now?
Yeah,
okay.
Very recently. Thing is, I think you'll find as well, a lot of people aren't going to know about it yet. Mm-hmm. If you ask the average person, they're going to know an Xbox, they're going to know PlayStation. You say Steam machine, they'll be like, what are you talking about?
I suppose really the only thing the only reason why people primarily know about it is if you go to like E3 conferences and things like that, or whatever conferences Steam have gone to, because they don't market it on TV or anything like that, like Sony and Microsoft do. So it's a bit interesting because the people that play PCs or play games on PCs will know about Steam Machine.
Yeah, but that's actually not the target market, really.
It's not, that's right. Yeah, so they're going to try and get into the console market, but they're not actually advertising towards console players to get them over to their machine.
I'm sure they've got a marketing campaign coming up.
Maybe.
And
seems like
we should revisit it in 3 months and see how it's going.
Yeah,
see
definitely.
I'm sure there'll be more ads on
definitely. I mean, look,
social media and stuff like that, and people might know about it. Yeah. As you say, at the moment, the only people who know about it are PC gamers, and they're not going to probably.
Yeah, no.
Well, they might want to. They might want just a machine they can put on their TV and easily have it. And also, obviously, it's got its own controller and stuff, so you can, they've with the controller. I don't know if you've seen it, but they've removed the analog stick, and they've put sort of like
circle type
touchpad thing. I haven't used it myself, but they were trying to make it so it's a bit better for like first person shooters and stuff like that.
Yeah,
a bit more sensitive for like.
Yeah,
I can imagine touchpad would be a bit better, a bit more sensitive for targeting.
Yeah, it'd be a little bit more precise.
But then when you need to move fast, I don't know.
You could sort of spin your hand around on it and sort of make it move a bit quicker. But from what I've read, it's not that good.
No,
but again, it might take getting used to. It's probably it's too early to judge it for sure.
No, definitely. I mean, I'm sure when Sony introduced the analog DualShock controllers, it took a bit of getting used to when they first came out.
And they've barely changed it, haven't they? I mean, it's
hardly. But I don't know, maybe from a PC gamer perspective, it's great for the portability of it because it's just like plug and play pretty much. So you're going away for the weekend.
Yeah, you can't bring your PC with you.
You can't bring your PC, so you bring your Steam machine, so you can still play all your Steam games that you picked up. I mean, like you say,
I like that idea of having all those Steam games on a console. Just it's a shame about the performance, but I'm sure.
But the fact you can load Windows onto it, no problem. It's not locked out. Like,
but why would you? I guess.
Well, to get more performance.
Oh, you think that would? Yeah, okay.
That's what I'm saying. That the point is that if you put Windows on it
and then run Steam on Windows,
you're going to get like up to 50% performance increase. But so you can dual boot it, and But no, it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah, give it a few more weeks.
Interesting. Well, we'll see. Like you say, I think it's something we need to revisit a couple of months down the track, see how it has tracked, how it has fared, if it's winning, if it's failing. I personally don't have that higher hopes for it. I just think if you're trying to get into the console market, Sony's got that under lock and key. And as a PC gamer, why would I want to go do that?
And Microsoft, surely they've got a pretty good chunk of the market.
Oh, they do. But I mean, I suppose if you look at PlayStation 4 versus Xbox One.
What are the figures in terms of like sales and stuff?
I haven't looked at it in a while.
Putting aside which one's better, we won't go into that.
Oh, Sony has absolutely dominated now. I don't have figures in front. Absolutely dominated. And always seem to. I don't have them in front of me, but every time I sort of look on sort of websites and forums and articles, Sony's always, always hitting it out. So I just don't think they're going to do well in the console market because Microsoft and Sony have got it sorted out. Sony more so this time around with PlayStation 4, and I just don't think they're going to do that well. So
looking at some stats online, Sony are coming in first. Xbox aren't that far behind, and then Wii are just at the bottom of the list.
Wii will be much behind.
So it'll be interesting to see where Steam fits in.
Wii U.
Where'd that go?
Oh, it's way down low.
No, but
I think
Wii U sold in the last year.
But that's international figures. I'm assuming maybe you're looking at
coming off GeekWire.
Okay, because I know I think
in
units, like places like Japan and there's certain Asian countries that Wii does actually really.
It does really well.
Does really well.
It does. Yeah.
But everything I'm looking at here, PlayStation sits above Xbox.
Yeah,
slightly. Yeah.
But don't forget as well the games. If you take like a PlayStation and an Xbox. You've got a very similar games library with a few exclusives on either side. They're actually quite, similar in power. The PlayStation slightly more powerful, but if you look at the Steam machine, you've got completely different games. You've got a lot of indie games, a lot of cheaper games as well.
Yes,
it's more affordable.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part about Steam.
Yeah,
and actually, I think just you saying that there is actually a really good point that it now gets indie developers into the console market as well.
Yeah,
that's actually pretty good as well. So that's I think another positive to it. But
I want to see it do well. To be honest, I think.
Look, I think anything that comes out of Valve is always great.
Yeah,
I
pretty much.
There's no flash to them or anything like that. No, whatever.
They're one of
the
I always talk about it, but they're one of the sort of pillars of gaming that,
Yeah.
like Blizzard and, stuff.
Oh,
Where you just know
absolutely.
it's going to be good.
Look, I hope they do, but the console market's is what it is. You don't tend to find console gamers, sort of PC gamers. They're usually against it. But we will see, I guess. What else you got for us today?
So this is Fallout 4. Obviously, came out. Was it Tuesday last week?
Yes.
We've been playing it a lot.
Yes.
Just an interesting little stat. Pornhub has, when it came out, dropped traffic by about 10%. I
am currently holding up.
We have a graph in front of us.
Brett's graph that he printed out. It was.
You got that?
Yeah.
I thought I threw that out.
No. It's got my notes on it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. There you go.
So, what do you make of the data? Just looking at it.
The data.
Yeah.
Well, let's have a look. So what do we got?
It actually breaks it down into different kind of people, doesn't it? Like sports or do we have that bit?
What?
There might have been another page. I don't know. Some of it got thrown out.
Maybe another page, but you can sort of. There's.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall having gone on Pornhub at all since Fallout came out.
Yeah,
so.
we know just locally the people
Yeah.
that we know has definitely made an impact on it.
It definitely has. I mean, looking at the graph, I mean, there's definitely a huge dip between sort of 7 a.m. for some reason and
Well, I mean,
1 p.m.
Who's looking at
People are
porn
waking
at
up
7 in
and
the
playing
morning?
Fallout.
I don't know, but well, actually, if that's the dip that they're talking about, what time did Fallout launch? What is this off? Is this like a?
I don't know.
Who knows? Don't pay that much attention.
Great statistic in any case.
Yeah.
Because because you look at the 9 p.m. That was when it sort of released.
But I think they're
First
saying
time.
sort of, equivalent to what it should have been. Because
The average,
obviously it's
yeah.
going to drop anyway.
Yeah.
But I just want to know who's having a wank at 7 a.m.
Well, look, okay. I'm just going off the graph you showed you brought us today. Now, the only thing
The interesting thing is I threw that out and then I thought you got that out of the bin, did you?
No. It's been sitting on the table since
Yeah.
the last time we caught up. So
There's a bit of
Who's even awake at
Vegemite on it
7
and
Vegemite.
or whatever that is. I don't know.
No, there you go.
Definitely making stuff up.
Great stat. You had it
Fallout
first, right?
Fallout 4 there. Taking on the porn industry.
I look forward to talking more about Fallout next week when we had a bit more of a play of it.
Yes.
Yeah, we've put a lot of time into it. We want to discuss Battlefront today
Yes.
because we've had the day off and we've been playing it all day,
what's
and we've given it a real good go.
Yeah, well, we started at 9:30 this morning, and we wrapped up about an hour ago, and then started recording this. So it has literally been from Star Wars into the podcast.
So what do you think?
How much time has been wasted on loading screens so far, if I can just jump straight in with that question?
Well, the thing is, like, we've found that getting onto a server that has people in it that isn't
difficult.
full is like nearly impossible.
yes.
But that's, any
like-
game that launches a lot, they always have server issues like
Yes.
that. The main thing is we found with the matchmaking, there's no option to choose a server. It's just like you just click on whatever mode you want, and
It's a piece of shit.
it's
matchmaking
annoying.
system.
It's annoying.
It is a piece of shit. This was advertised as this. Well, there's no actually not advertised. There's no single player in it unless you want to do that little
Training,
survival
yeah.
training thingy. But it is primarily a multiplayer game.
Online, yeah.
And it's a pain in the ass to join with friends.
Yeah,
It's a pain in the ass to find a server to go on to. So when you kind of go, this is multiplayer, this is what it's about,
Yeah.
and you can't do the main thing to get you into a game.
Play a game, yeah.
I mean,
You have to give it a bit of leniency because it's launch day.
Yeah.
If you revisit it in a couple of weeks, they'll probably have the issues solved because it's
And
just
more
always
people
like that.
will
It's like I
download it
remember it
as
was
well.
like that with Battlefield. The servers crash. They just don't know how many people are going to play it. They can only estimate.
Not so much that, like in terms of servers that are available, at least on the battle log for Battlefield. When you're looking at the servers, you can see
Yeah.
which game modes, which maps, which servers have players in it. And I'll go, okay, well, look,
Choose
that's got
accordingly,
38
yeah.
people. I'll go and play in that one. Or that one's actually 40 from 40. I'll just sit in a queue. But with the matchmaking system that they've got is you go search for this game
Just
mode.
a start now kind of thing, yeah.
It's just, you just kind of goes searching for a game.
It goes searching and it goes looking for nearly full servers, looking for 80%, looking for 60% full. And then it goes down to 30%, and it might put you in a server with no one or 3 other people, and then it goes waiting for 25 new players.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
and we will sit there staring at the screen for
Yeah.
about 15 minutes and go fuck this and go and do something else.
See,
Yeah.
now my problem with that is where I was looking at some of the game modes. I mean, to me, whenever you look at, say, Battlefield, I don't know if you can really compare Battlefront to Battlefield. Yes, it was DICE, but they're entirely different sort of mechanic. Well, not mechanics, but they're entirely
Well, you
different
can
games.
compare it because it's very similar.
It's similar, but trying not to. Trying not to.
Fair enough.
I look at, say, if I want to play a particular mode in Battlefield, and I go, show me all the servers with this particular mode.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, look, no one's playing it. Fine, I'll go find something else. But if in Star Wars, where I go, oh, let's maybe give Hero Hunt a go, because I haven't tried that yet, and it goes searching for almost, searching for 80, searching for 60, and eventually, there's no one actually available, so I'm sitting there by myself.
But you don't know if there's a bunch
But
of
I don't
full
know.
servers.
I don't know if there's a bunch of full servers.
Yeah, or no one's interested.
I don't know if someone's, so are people interested in this? At least if there was some sort of server browser to go, nobody is playing these games.
Yeah, but don't bother.
Awesome, I won't bother. But I don't know that. I don't know if I'm one spot away from getting in from something.
That style of matchmaking kind of reminds me of, like, it's obviously more of a console style, like Halo and I think COD might be like that, is it?
No, COD's got a lobby system.
Titanfall was like that, maybe? I just
so
read,
that's
was it
got
Titanfall when it got released? Wasn't it like that?
No, it's still got a lobby system where you, I
okay.
believe. I mean, look, Titanfall came and went. I didn't spend that much time in it.
Yeah.
But it was done. I thought it had a lobby system.
I guess it's more
similar
of
to
a, not that I'm a huge console game, but it's more of a console style where you just it just does it for you.
That's right. Like they say, or DICE came out and said that it's a skill-based matchmaking system. So if you're in the lower levels, then you're going to be compared with people that are at your similar level, or maybe your
But
skill.
we found today that that hasn't been the case.
No,
not at
definitely
all.
not. Definitely not. I mean, there were definitely
Found
people.
all over the place.
Yeah, exactly.
Pistols versus bloody heavy blasters and stuff. Just
Yeah,
getting
exactly.
owned, yeah.
Exactly. So, no, I think the matchmaking system for a multiplayer only game was absolutely terrible. Absolutely
So
useless.
moving on from that, we want to, because
Sensational game,
they've got
we
time
just
to
say.
fix that up.
Yeah, no, definitely. Hopefully, they could bring in something. Look, in terms of the game itself, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It is
How many hours did we put in today? 6 or 7?
5 or 6
6 or
at least,
7.
yeah.
Yeah, it was about
And
that.
I sort of feel like I'm not that bothered to play it again today. I might.
No,
like,
I'm
sort of over
Wanna
it a
get
bit
back on
already.
Fallout,
Yeah.
to be honest, yeah.
I'll go back. Like, I find with games like that, you want to jump in, play for half an hour, and then you've had enough. It's not like a long term,
Yeah,
like
definitely
Fallout,
not.
sit there for hours playing it.
Definitely not. Like, I know yesterday, I think I played Fallout from about 8 a.m. to 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And then the missus came home. Then I'm off work at the moment, so then she went to bed, and I was like,
Back on.
I'm back to playing Fallout
Yeah,
until
yeah,
midnight.
exactly.
So Star Wars does not give me that.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
look, I've had my 7 hours,
Yeah.
6 or 7 hours today. I'm good for a couple more days.
Yeah.
I got my ass handed to me plenty of times. I'm done.
Yeah.
For now.
So I think looking at the good parts of the game,
Yes.
I think the graphics, being the Frostbite
Amazing.
engine,
Sensational.
absolutely spectacular.
Oh yeah, explosions were great. The details in the
just
environment.
Sound.
Endor, the snow,
Oh,
the whole-
Endor was
beautiful.
The sound of the
Beautiful
TIE
game.
fighters roaring over your head.
Great sound.
I think they've really nailed the Star Wars
Feel.
sound.
It's it's really Star Wars.
It's
spot on.
authentically Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's Star Wars. I mean, so as cliche as that can sound, authentically Star Wars,
Nailed that, yeah.
it really does feel.
It's like when I was
how
a
it
kid,
should.
if I knew I was able to do that at some point, it's just so exciting. Like it made me feel like a kid again, to be honest. Just
That's right.
that level of excitement when you first watch those Star Wars battles when you're a kid.
And-
I had that same feeling, just like, oh, this is so epic and so much going on.
No,
It's so cool.
I never played the original Battlefront. So this is my first Battlefront game that I've played. So I know the hero system was in the previous ones.
I'd played them a little bit.
But getting to be a Luke or a Darth Vader really sort of
Han Solo earlier. That's kind of fun.
that's a lot of fun. It makes you feel like one thing I'm really glad they changed from the beta was if you were a hero, your health would diminish with time. So you'd only have it for a limited time, and of course, if someone attacked you, you would actually lose additional health.
Yep.
So I like the way they took that out.
Yeah, you can actually enjoy the experience
Yeah,
with the guy.
yeah, you can continue to play until you essentially die. So then if you are a better skill-based player, you get to be the hero longer, which is I guess the rewarding part of being good at a particular game. You get rewarded for playing well. But no, it is a great. The maps are awesome.
Good fun.
Endor is definitely my favorite.
Really?
That's for sure.
I find it's a bit hard to see what's going on, but I suppose everyone has
I
the same
still
handicap.
quite like Hoth. I got to say,
I gotta
even
go
though
with
we
Hoth
played
too,
the shit
yeah.
out of it for the beta.
Oh,
I really Hoth is just
Yeah.
that's where it's at. I think Endor is good. I just found that it's if you're the Empire, the rebels are so well hidden. I just found it's like
the same
really
as-
hard to see anyone.
I suppose it's the same as Hoth. If you're the Empire,
Empire's white, yeah.
white.
Yeah,
and
but
stuff.
they're more. I don't know. Like they stand out. You can still see them.
Yeah.
I just. But that's fine. That's part of the game
Yeah.
dynamic. No, it's a problem.
Oh, that's the idea of
But it's,
camouflage in the military, I guess.
Yeah. Because the white armor, wearing that into a forest is like.
No, for the rebels. The
But just
Imperials was
thinking
fine.
about the Empire's, just
not
make them
always
white.
fine. Yeah.
Make them wear white into a forest.
The Empire's
Doesn't paint
they're just
giant
clones.
glowing targets on
Yeah.
their head.
They're just clones, so it doesn't really matter. So
True.
they're expendable.
Oh, we had a good speeder race through Endor earlier. That was good fun.
Oh, did you?
It was a 2-player.
It was actually a tutorial.
challenge thing.
Oh, okay. All right.
Brett just flew straight into a tree 3 times.
Well
I
done.
used all the lives up because
Yep.
I wanted to just go full
Yep.
stick like in the movie
Yep.
and just like belt through the trees,
Not
and I
quite so easy.
just couldn't turn in time.
Speaking of the movie moment, there was a moment in Endor where I got to be Luke, picked up the hero thing pretty quickly, and I
Yeah.
had a speeder coming at me.
Oh, yeah.
Not like the movie. I
couldn't cut it in half?
Wouldn't cut it in half. Speeder came at me. I turned and hit him because
Take the
lost
game back,
40
I think.
points of health, and he just kept going. I was
Yeah.
like, well, that's not meant to happen. You're supposed to die. That's
I've,
what happened in
yeah.
the movie.
I've seen a great video of Darth Vader throwing his lightsaber at a A-wing.
Yes,
in
in
Hoth. Or it
Hoth.
might have been an X-wing.
I
Anyway,
think it was
playing and took it down. That was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, that was good. I think that there's a gif of that
Yeah.
going around. So,
So what about the how do you feel about the sort of gun dynamics? Obviously, Battlefield and stuff, it's really honed. You kind of got different styles of guns.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find the lasers to be all a bit samey?
yes,
You know what I mean? And it's a bit like, there's just not enough difference between the guns.
It makes the game. It makes killing easier.
I would say
think.
harder. It's very frustrating when you come face to face with a guy. You both start firing together, and it pretty much depends on who's got the better gun will win that standoff.
There is a lot of that.
And it happened a lot today.
And
'cause
it
I
is a
was
lot of
starting.
like who sees who first wins.
Yeah.
Battlefield's a bit like that as well.
True.
But I think at least with Battlefield and the guns, if you're going for distance, you've got to compensate for bullet drop
Yeah.
and gravity and things like that.
Yeah.
In this one, you can get a pistol and it'll go
Yeah.
type thing until it hits something.
It's very
And-
like spray and pray type.
Yeah, it is. I don't
Dynamics
like-
just fight, but that makes it better in a way because it makes the battles so epic because there's lasers going everywhere.
Oh, yeah,
But
there
but it's sort of I feel like it's a bit. It's just not. I don't know. It's not as satisfying. I don't know how to.
Yeah, no, I think. I don't know.
I agree. I don't know how to explain it either, but I agree.
It might need more polish. I mean, they might work on it. It might get more developed. But
And there's also a lot more guns we haven't unlocked yet. Perhaps we've just got really piece of shit
Well,
things
that's
to
true.
begin with.
Yeah, it's still, like I say, we're only 7
Level-
hours in.
level
And
8 or 9.
So the other thing they haven't done in this, I mean, when I try not to compare it to Battlefield, there's no class system, so everyone's the same, which kind of I feel like that takes away from the depth of the game a little bit.
well, I got, I guess then. Oh, because obviously there's no medics or anything like that, but you do have then the star cards where you can
Yeah.
kind of
Build your own
start to
class, yeah.
customize what it is you want. Do you want to,
Yeah, grenades or a rifle. Or
what type of
something.
grenades
Sniper.
or scout pistol, things
Yeah.
like that. So you can still customize in that way. So it's giving you a bit more, to me, I think, a bit more flexibility
Yeah.
in what you want to do. Yes, there's no medics or anything like that, but not that I've seen it anyway.
Yeah,
Right.
I just
Well, your health recharges in seconds,
Yeah, I mean,
so
they-
yeah, no need.
I think the jetpacks add a really good
Oh, I can't wait
feature
to
to
get
it.
that, yeah.
So many times when I was using the jetpack, you kind of come, over a ridge and there's like someone under you and they don't see you coming because you're coming from the top
Yeah,
and you're
shooting on top of
sort
the
of
head.
shooting on top of the head. It was, it makes for a lot of fun moments.
Or an impact grenade from a sky is good fun too.
Now, I think one thing I was thinking about, what makes Battlefield awesome is just the epic moments you can get into, like the destruction of the world and things
Yeah.
like that. You don't get too much of that in Star Wars. So from what we've seen, I think there's trees in Endor that'll
Trees
blow up
fall
into
down, yeah.
splinter, but at least in like something like in Battlefield, if you're down in a corridor, you can have walls caving in
Yeah.
and exploding, and it
Drive
sort of
through a
really
house.
throws you off. But I think
it does seem like there's less destruction of the environment. Essentially, is what you're saying.
I'm pretty sure there's like no destruction.
There's a couple of trees.
There's a couple of trees in
but I
there.
don't think you can take all the trees down. You can't just.
No, definitely not. No, but I just
with Battlefield, you can sort of pretty much destroy anything you can see.
yeah, exactly. So I think that destructibility.
And I think that's the kind of
could have been good.
I believe that's to sort of maintain the level of the map. Like it wouldn't work if you could just destroy everything because it would just be
Works in Battlefield.
it's different. I think it's just different, you know.
Yeah, no. So I mean, there were definitely moments that made you kind of go, "I'm in the Star Wars universe." So I remember that because I was in one of the Tatooine maps or something like that, running down sort of like some sort of little tunnel or gorge or whatever, and all you hear is like a TIE fighter coming up
Yeah.
behind you, then flies overhead, and the next thing is a speeder chasing it type thing, and while your bullets are flying over the top of the tunnels and things like
very
that.
pretty.
It's definitely makes, I think, has its own epicness of, I think, moments in the game where I think, with the laser fire and things like that, you can see all the laser shots going across the battlefield, and you don't see that in Battlefield because it's
stay
bullets.
hidden when your gun just shoots glow sticks out the end of it, pretty much.
No, so it's.
What do you think about the fact? How do you feel about the pickup system, versus for vehicles? It's not like you go and get in a TIE fighter. You don't go and get in an ATST.
The speed as you jump on, but you're right. Everything else you have to pick up and sort of load the thing up.
I don't know. I'm still a bit undecided about that. I think I prefer it where you can kind of get in stuff and it's there, because it's just weird how it just calls it in. I don't know. It just feels a bit less organic.
I suppose you'd need a runway or something then, if that were the case, like a hangar.
Well, I suppose spaceships, how they just take off.
Look, I mean, it's sci-fi. They're not going for realism. And so this is where I'm saying we can't really compare it to. I know we've compared it already quite a bit
it's
already
be done.
to Battlefield.
You can't not.
No, you can't. It's very hard.
It's the same company. So
it's the same company doing the same.
It's the same
thing.
engine.
Exactly. So it is very hard.
It's the same style of game.
Yeah.
It's a shooting.
And I think it's those differences, like the star cards, like the icon pickups, the non-destructible.
You know what that kind of feels to me? It's a bit like they were like, okay, we don't want this to be Battlefield. How do we make it different? What we're going to do is put in these things to make it different from Battlefield, regardless of whether it makes the game better or not. To just make to put the cards in because it's different. And that's sort of what it feels like a little bit.
You're thinking maybe instead, when you die, you could spawn into a plane coming out of a Star Destroyer.
It would just be cool if you could, the A-Wings were sitting in the base and you could get into them and take them out, and then they blow up and they respawn after a while.
Yeah.
Or one comes up through a hatch or something. Just so it's more in the world rather than it just coming in from nowhere.
Mm-hmm. So sort of like,
but that might be to do with balance. It might be to stop people camping the base and stuff like that. Because we found in a few of the, especially on the Hoth map, with the Supremacy, the Empire would just camp the Rebel spawn point.
Yeah.
And it happened a few times, and we're just literally stuck. And there's a couple of ATSTs, and they're just blasting everyone. And you just can't. You just literally, you would spawn and die, and it was just it wasn't fun.
Very frustrating.
And
so that needs a bit of balance to fix that.
But I suppose, that's the thing with that one, with Supremacy, where it sort of capture that point and
I suppose
push forward to the next one. There was still another point that they had to get to, so it was as if they were toying with us, basically.
It was almost too exposed. Should have been in a building or somewhere,
spawning right out in the open, in the snow, where everyone can just shoot at you. Is shit.
Yeah. So on the topic of spawning, the partnership system,
I like that. It's awesome.
Oh, spawning on your mates. Yeah,
I like it. It's fun because I was when I was partnered with you for a while, I'd spawn on you and I'd always spawn on Tyler, and then you're kind of always with your friends. It's really good.
Yeah, except if you're not with the partner.
Except they're about to die.
Yeah. No. For example, because if you're in, once again, Battlefield, if you're in a squad, you got four people that you can potentially spawn on.
Yeah.
There was the three of us today playing Star Wars, and you two were partnered up, and I wasn't. I can't spawn on you. I have no way of spawning on you. Yeah. No. But then, say if it was us, then
so you think because it's only two people, that kind of sucks. It should be a squad.
You'd think that we were in a team already.
Exactly. We're in a party group through.
That is a bit odd.
Origin.
I don't know why they didn't do a squad.
Yeah, I get the partnership for example, it can help balance if you're a higher level and you've got all these cards. I can, as your partner, if I was say level 1, I could use the cards that you've unlocked. Did you see that?
No.
So when you're dead and you're spawning, and you can select which hand of cards you want to use. Either your one, or you can use.
Is that why that's there?
Yeah.
I just saw that and just thought, it's just telling you what it is.
No. If you're with a partner, you can use your partner
that makes
stuff,
more sense.
And I think it works there.
That's to balance the game then a bit, obviously, because it kind of brings people up and lets them use stuff that's.
Yeah, higher level. That's right.
That's cool. That's good.
And I think that is good. But then, as a squad, we're all joined as a when you put on the pause menu and you've got your sort of who's in your party. I've got I'm with 3 other people, or in this case 2 other people, but I can't spawn on you. So in terms of team play, trying to strategize, it's
not as fun. It's a bit annoying.
I have to go around trying to find you. Look for the dot on the map.
I find the game there isn't much strategy in the game. It's that sort of side of it. It's quite shallow. It's really run and gun.
It's run and gun.
There's not much that's again going back to the classes. With comparing it against Battlefield, you'd be like a scout. You could set up a little scout station.
You tag people,
and you can just there's more sort of teamwork and strategy. This is just charge and fire
Now-
as much as you can.
Throw
at them
all the
and
grenades.
hope- yeah, it's
and then there's also, unless there's still more weapons to unlock, but
but they're all laser guns, and
They're all-
I haven't
yeah.
seen anyone use anything different. They're all laser guns,
No,
so
that's
it's
right,
going to be
they're
the
all-
same style of weapon.
Exactly.
There's like a sort of shotgunny type thing, and
Yeah.
there's better range weapons, but they're
Yeah.
still sort of basically the same.
but
just different
but like I
stats.
said, in terms of strategy for team play,
I don't
there's
see
not
how
much.
you couldn't. I don't see how you really could.
Apart
Strat.
from
No.
running with other people for more numbers.
What it
Yeah,
is
exactly.
it's like it's more of a like play the game on. Even though it's multiplayer, you're playing it on your own, doing
Yeah.
your own thing. It doesn't punish you for doing your own thing.
yep,
In Battlefield, you stay with your squad. That kind of helps. You know what I mean? You need to use a bit of teamwork.
Yeah.
In
Or
this,
if
it's
you-
like it
like,
really doesn't matter.
the javelin missiles, for example, it's like you've got someone who's a sniper that has obviously the
Yeah.
pinpoint the tank, and then you've got the other people in the squads with the javelin rocket launcher. You can't use the javelin unless someone's sort of
Yeah.
tracing. So there's a little bit of team play there, but you don't get that in Star Wars. Still, maybe it's too early to tell. I
So
don't know.
there's like DLC coming.
there is.
They might add more content, and they might add more stuff like that, and they might make it flesh it out a bit more.
Possibly. I mean, in
Maybe
this,
you should
with,
level up more, who knows?
yeah, maybe. There may be other
But
things.
apparently,
in
you
there.
can get pretty much all the gear in about 10 to 12 hours.
Depends how good you are, I think.
Well, so like just from what I was reading, it's like
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah, you can because it's all just
Say if
level
you
and
shit,
point.
it's
point
20
space.
hours, and
Yeah.
then you've got everything. And then I feel like once you got all the gear, you'd sort of be like, well,
then-
not
then-
what's keeping you playing it.
Well,
that
did you
much.
see that diorama?
Yeah, that's
So
fine.
there's that type of stuff where you go. I mean, yeah,
cares?
that's probably there. I
It doesn't
couldn't
do
care
anything
less.
in the game. What do you
No, it doesn't.
Throw it at the enemies,
No, it's just it's
Distract
something to
them.
strive for. It's just a challenge and
shoot it
whatnot.
at them or something.
Yeah, so I mean, to me, that doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't
cool.
faze
Like
me.
good little, I like that, but it doesn't really.
No,
it's
it
like
does
whatever.
doesn't add replay value for me. But there are people out there that love to go around collecting all types of shit like that.
And
so.
so the maps were like really beautifully detailed.
Yes.
really stunning.
Oh yes,
There's 12 maps, but there's kind of like 4 archetypes of maps. It's kind of this 4 worlds
planets,
or whatever.
rather.
Did you find it? Did you find it's a bit like even just playing it today? I was a bit like, oh, I wish we had some new maps because I was already kind of. I wish there was more maps. Is what I'm saying.
well, that's where the DLC comes in. And
yeah.
the season,
So then I was thinking, well, is this just because they want you to buy DLC?
yes,
And it's just this marketing strategy.
yes, it is.
It is.
So the season
We don't know
pass,
for a fact?
the season
Well,
pass,
it's obvious, isn't it?
yeah, it's EA. It's the season pass, which is like $50.
Did you buy the season pass?
No, I haven't yet. So we'll see how. I mean,
I'm gonna get it, but I'll just wait for. I don't want them to have my money now. I'll wait till the first bit comes out,
Yeah.
and then I will get it.
well, look. I think in terms of season passes go, you're getting a fair bit. I think because there's overall going to be 16 more maps to come out.
So it's more than the base, more than double.
Yeah, there's going to be 4 expansions, which will probably be like I don't know, however many maps per expansion, I guess. There's going to be 4 more heroes.
Yep.
You're going to get, I think, early access to more shit that's coming out, stuff like
Are
that.
there going to be any space levels?
That was going to be one of my gripes.
Yeah, because
Fighter Squadron.
Yeah.
And this is going to be one thing
But
I
it's
was
not.
going to.
Before you start ranting about
Okay,
that,
alright.
it's not. It's like if you think of like Rogue Squadron and stuff. It's not a space shooting game, so
Yeah.
why would it
It's-
be in space?
It's
Well,
Star
there are-
Wars.
It doesn't matter, but it's not. It's not set
What
in
do you mean?
space. It's a land battle game, so it would.
No, but
to
Fighter-
me, it would be inappropriate.
Fighter Squadron.
What do you mean fighter squadron?
That's the only mode where it's just
Yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
up in the
Yeah.
air. Why can't you have one space map? Flying around a Star Destroyer.
Star or something, yeah.
Yeah, flying around the Death
But
Star.
that wouldn't be in space. That would be the Death Star is a planet.
no,
Essentially.
around in space.
Yeah, but the Death
In
Star
the-
is the size. It's
in
a
the
small
background.
moon.
In the
That's no-
background.
that's no moon.
While it's trying to shoot shit
Oh, I
at
see.
you.
I see what you're saying.
So no, for me, it's like it is Star Wars, and
Picked
you,
up the Death Star hero.
I don't have a space map.
I get what you're saying, but I don't think there should be a space level because it wouldn't suit the game. The game's like a ground battle
yeah,
sort of type game. It's not a space
No, I
game.
get-
It's
I-
not like like did you play like TIE Fighter and X-Wing versus TIE Fighter and all
no,
that shit?
no,
They're just like a totally different thing. And then there was like Rogue Squadron.
yeah,
You played that?
No.
That wasn't in space, was it?
No, from what I remember.
Yeah,
it was
it's just
mostly-
I don't know. I just feel like they're sort of separate things and don't mix them up. That's what I think.
But
like space.
what about flying around asteroid fields and things like that?
But the engine might not do that very well.
What?
Like the game, if you play it in space, it might not work properly. Like it might just be shit.
No, I can't agree with
The
that.
game's
No.
designed when you look at the game engine is designed to have have the ground
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
If you just take a big chunk of the game out and just go, that's going to be cool.
It's just one map.
It's one.
Maybe it's one of the maps in the upcoming DLC 16 map
Maybe
season pass.
they'll bring it in. And admittedly, an asteroid field would be pretty cool because then you have to avoid them.
Because I look, there was a lot of I had a lot of good moments when I was in an A-wing and being chased and actually sort of flying under like a bridge and things like that. And like, okay, that type of stuff. You can do that in an asteroid field though.
Asteroid field would be cool. I think open space it'd be a bit shit because it'd be nothing to sort of.
No. Okay, when I say space, I don't mean just open space. Like, no.
Isn't that what space is?
No, but that's and that's why I say.
So you don't want
an asteroid
want a
field,
space map. You want an asteroid
something
map.
around, a star destroyer or something like that. So you've got some sort of object to fly around or fly up to or things like that. And to kind of go, a space map doesn't fit in Star Wars. It's Star Wars. How can it not be in? How can you not have something in space? Half the bloody movies are in space.
What about I think a Death Star map would be cool, and having the ground as the Death Star was the ground. You know what I mean? Because it's like a small moon, so that would be pretty cool. Yep. What I was meaning is like kind of out in open space.
Okay, all right, okay.
Like fucking what's it called? Elite Dangerous style.
Okay,
that kind of thing. It just wouldn't work because it's not designed for that.
Yeah.
No, it's sort of slow and you know what I mean. You're supposed to have stuff near you.
There's plenty of stuff out there that you could probably make.
Asteroids work, Star Destroyer would work.
Gas clouds that you have short sort of visual distance in and things like that. So you have to be sort of slower and more strategic. I don't know.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is Star Wars. Star Wars.
I wouldn't be surprised if there is some sort of space map in the DLCs coming up. Something on the Death Star's got to be there.
Is Chewbacca coming as a hero?
Well, that's in season 5. There's 4 more.
The last one you can unlock.
The bowcaster.
Oh, really? Yeah. He's got to be. I would say.
Wookiees. Why is there no Wookiees?
Don't know. There's still more. There's plenty more DLC to come out.
Is there a Kashyyyk level? Is that his planet? I can never
remember.
No,
there's no.
There wasn't. No.
What's the Wookiee?
It's like Kashyyyk.
Kashyyyk, yeah.
It is like Kashyyyk or something like that.
Oh
no, it's not a level, but it's actually like I think the Wookiees' homeworld in the lore of Star Wars. Okay. It's not in the game.
Don't make anyone mad.
So
yeah, you got to be careful with this. Yeah.
Please don't quote me. Quote Tyler.
Yeah.
If you want to get mad at someone, get mad at Tyler.
Yeah, it's Tyler.
Kashyyyk, I nailed it.
Yeah.
Spelt with 3 Y's. Look at that.
Yeah.
And there's loads of Wookiees, isn't there? They're like a whole. They got enslaved, didn't they?
They're their own race.
Didn't they get enslaved?
I don't know.
No, pushing it.
That's it. You gotta be careful talking about that.
What did they get? Like, why are they? Because they're quite strong and they're quite smart. Because Chewie is smart and stuff.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I mean,
so why are they such like bitches to the Empire?
I don't know.
Well, why not?
Because I'm not.
Slavery in Star Wars. There's actually a wiki on
it. Yeah, but.
You guys keep talking.
Yeah, anyway.
I saw Chris was flying a little nerd moment I had. He was flying like Slave One, like Boba Fett ship.
I did get that.
That's fucking awesome.
It was.
It's so cool. I didn't even unexpected. I love the way that ship looks.
It looks like an iron. It's just a It's just an iron.
I
just ran out of props.
Yeah,
just use a fucking.
It's so dumb.
Yeah. Like George Lucas was just like waking up and he was doing his shirt. He was like, "This will do." Just get the movie out. I need the money.
That's one way of looking at it. Yeah. I need another ship. What could it possibly be?
And he was like, "Hang on."
Yeah. Oh, look what I'm mining.
I see what you're thinking.
So I think
fucking George Lucas.
But overall, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Getting back to the point.
Getting back to the point.
It's great. I think it's like it's a really flashy, showy, awesome game. Looks amazing, but does lack depth.
Absolutely. It lacks depth. It lacks team strategy. It lacks matchmaking. It lacks easy ways of getting into games with your friends.
Definitely.
That may change.
Because
I played it last night.
Because I think one point
I had no problems getting to
No, that's right. And I think that's one point we haven't raised yet is I think when you're playing on your own, it's going to look for a map with one spot.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about this today when we're playing. But if you're in a group of 2 or 3, it has to look for a almost full game with 2 or 3 slots available, which is also annoying because the chance of that, and that's where you go, let's look for an 80%, 70%.
And that's why you get put in shitty servers.
Shitty servers with like nobody in it. Yeah. So it was a bit fiddly. I think one thing we tried was we would sort of disbanded the group. You would try to get into a server.
Give away the secrets.
But if we're the first ones to get that, then that's bad on everybody else because I don't know. I always feel like I
haven't sort of gone on the forums to see if there's like a huge bunch of nerd rage about
I'm
people
sure
not being able to get into servers.
There's got to be. I hope so. Because the only time it did sort of work is when I think you guys got into a game. I left the group, so I found a game for you two, and then I went, "Oh, okay, great. Now I'll click on you as the friend."
But then you end up on the other team as well, which is annoying. Tyler had that issue.
Yeah, exactly. So I think
I needed to wait about 2 minutes to join, but I was on the wrong team.
better than nothing.
So,
Yeah.
so I think for those reasons, like if I were to give it a score out of 10,
yep. What are you going?
based off the point of it being a multiplayer game and those
we've
points,
played most of the content.
Yeah.
pretty much.
There's
in
not
about-
that much more.
No, there's
We've done
not.
nearly everything.
And the ones that we haven't, like Hero Hunt and things like that, we just couldn't get into a match because
Yeah,
probably no one
wasn't
was
it?
playing it. But we wouldn't know because there's no fucking servers to look at.
Yeah.
7.5.
Yeah.
I don't
Valor.
think it deserves.
Graphics just mind-boggling.
Yes.
Audio mind-boggling. But while I was playing it, I was thinking about Fallout.
Yeah, I was as well.
If I'm honest,
I'm glad you said that.
I
Yeah.
was thinking about what I'm going to build in Fallout tonight
Yeah.
and like what missions I'm going to do.
What's your score?
Drunk Friday night, I could play it all night, but I don't think I'd come home from work and sit down and start playing it.
It's like getting a Big Mac meal. It's like it tastes good at the time. It's fun for a bit, and then you regret.
And it's
after
quite
you-
small. It's actually quite small.
And
well.
and
So it's
after you're just like this just doesn't make me feel right.
No.
Yeah.
No, look,
I
I
gotta say 7. I mean, it's definitely polished beyond belief in some
Yes.
areas.
Yeah.
But the gameplay is just, I got bored of it after a while, and also incredibly frustrated just at getting constantly blown up by grenades. It should have been called, Grenade Front. Most of the maps were.
I noticed a lot of people were
Just all the
complaining
thermal
about the grenade
detonators.
spam. Just
Yeah,
like,
it's
just
just-
stop fucking spamming grenades.
Yeah.
Oh, you got that in Battlefield. Oop.
The problem is you get grenades back too fast. I think they need to back that off a bit.
Yeah,
so when you
30
throw
seconds
one, you
from
can't get another one
15.
for a few minutes rather than like every 10 seconds you can just keep hurling grenades.
Yeah.
Or get 3 and then that's it. You
Yeah.
use them,
Yes, I agree with that.
And actually, there's one of the. I don't know if you noticed, one of the pickups is like a refresh your cards.
Yeah,
So,
so
you can
yes.
actually go throw the grenade,
Yeah.
hit your special icon, get another great, throw it again.
Well, I got so mad towards the end, I got rid of my sniper rifle, took 2 grenades in, so
Yeah.
2 grenades on the cards, and then the refresher card.
And the refresher, you
essentially
throw 4 in a
four
matter of
grenades in the
seconds.
space of 2
Yeah,
seconds.
so you're just
Yeah.
spamming it. I mean,
Exactly.
those sort of bits where you got like a corridor and, there's about 5 people on each side, it's
Yeah.
just a nightmare. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, graphics wise.
10 out of 10 for
Oh,
graphics.
it
amazing.
looks amazing.
Spectacular.
Absolutely amazing.
Sound 10 out of 10.
Look, I'll keep playing it. I'll
I'll
keep
also
playing
play
it.
it,
But it doesn't make me want to go back for more the way something like Fallout does.
Costs more than Fallout 2, which...
It does. And they want a season pass to give you more.
It costs considerably more.
Yeah.
For the content, if you think about how much.
Yeah, I mean, well,
you
I
can't
think-
really compare it to Fallout, but.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. But in terms
But
of...
it'd be interesting to see what the state of the game in 6 months, because there might be more depth, there's going to be more maps.
Maybe.
There might be, a lot of stuff
There's-
extra. They might have sorted out the fucking servers.
Maybe. And...
So they might.
And that's the thing with the season pass. There's a lot of stuff in there. 4 expansions, 16 maps, 4 new heroes, more weapons. I think was in there somewhere that I may have read. Don't quote me on that one. I could be completely wrong. So there's still. I think there's also more game modes to come. So there is more to come.
I think the most fun I had today was when we did the survival map. It was just...
Yeah, so you can do
You can
a.
actually play a game. Like,
You can do like a co-op survival, so you just get like waves of enemies
good
thrown
fun.
at you, and you have like up to 15 waves, and you
that's fun.
defend, and you just play that. It's just a 2-player thing.
Yeah.
And that was actually, I agree, that was
Yeah,
that was the
fun.
funnest round.
I really
had.
enjoyed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was awesome fun. I really like that
Fair enough.
because you're not getting grenades.
Did you give it a rating on Star Wars? Your personal rating?
I think 7,
I'm
but
gonna
only
say
because
7.
the graphics are so amazing. If the graphics were like kind of okay, then it would probably be lower.
Yeah. To me, I think it just in terms of, like I said, the point of this is multiplayer.
What,
Only.
the thing is as well, like when I was playing
And it
last
makes it
night, I was like, "This is the best game I've ever played." It's so amazing because
Yeah,
I was
but
so like just like shocked at how good it looks and everything. But
Yeah.
then by sort of midday today, I'm like, "Yeah, it's not like it's pretty fun still, I guess."
Yeah, it's not something you
it
can
wears
sit-
off really quick.
Yes.
Its sparkle wears off quick.
Because I know when I was playing the beta, hour a night type thing.
Yeah.
But then when I was because it was such a short stint, I was at work the next day thinking, I want to go play Star Wars.
Yeah.
I want to go play Battlefront, even though it was only Hoth.
Yeah.
Now that, like you say, you spend 6-7 hours on it, I'm good for another
Yeah.
couple of days before I
Yeah.
go back to it. So, moving on. Next week, we're going to be talking Fallout 4.
I can't wait for that.
It's going to be amazing. I think that's going to be a really fun podcast to do. So I think we were weighing up which one to do first, Star Wars or Fallout for our very first episode. And I think with the amount of hours that you need for Fallout, it was probably good. I think that we did leave it for maybe another week. I'm up to about 24, 25 hours played now.
Same, about
Same.
25. Yep.
Or maybe 16, 15.
Yeah. So I think for a discussion for Fallout, you really need to spend a lot of time playing it first. So we're going to have a real good, thorough, in-depth conversation about that next time for our next episode. So definitely stick around for that. We're also going to try and fit in some time for Brett to do a bit of hardware on his new monitor that he's picked up. We'll see how we go. Depends how long our follow-up conversation goes for. So if you did like this episode, really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button. That'd be very much appreciated. You can catch us on Facebook if you search for Games Vault. On Twitter, we are at GV Podcast. iTunes, you can just search for Games Vault and be able to find us there. You can also catch me on YouTube at HerdyAU Gaming. That's HERDYAU Gaming. For Let's Plays, that's one thing I've also started on the side of this as well. So, look, thank you very much for listening. If you did like it, that'd be very much appreciated, and a subscribe would be awesome. Anything from you guys before we sign out?
No, thanks. See you
See you later.
Great, thanks.
Thanks for listening to the Games Vault podcast. Keep gaming, and we'll see you soon.